Guys, now it's time to draft the front panel. I'm done with the construction of the back panel and I have my seam allowances added all around the pattern. So now this is the pattern I will be using for the front panel. I have all my vertical lines extended outward, as you can see, and this part is my center front. This is the starting point. I left about 4 inches upward. I have my armhole constructed. This is the chest level, the bust level, the empire level, the waist level, the top length, and the hip level. So before going to the drafting of the princess dart, I will be working on the upper part first, just the way I did on the back panel. So from the starting point on the center front, I will take this upward by 2 inches. Then I will take my straight ruler, then connect the 1 inch point I have on the armhole to the 2 inches point I just measured out. The line I just drafted is going to be the shoulder line for the front panel. The next step is to insert the measurement I took on the back panel on the shoulder line of the front panel. You remember when I was drafting the neckline area on the back panel, I took the measurement. I told you I will be taking the measurement, which I will note down on my pattern. So there I measured 7.5 inches. So I will be inserting the 7.5 inches on the front shoulder line, starting from the armhole point here. So I will insert the 7.5 inches, which is here. Then I will raise that point up by 1/2 inch. Then I will connect this with my curve ruler. Now this shape is going to be for the front shoulder line. So as you can see, now we have both the shoulder and the neckline drafted together. The remaining lines I have here are going off. Having done this, I will be constructing the front neckline. The point here is a front neck width. Then I will insert the neck depth, and based on the design we are working with, the neck depth is going to fall on the chest level. I want mine to fall on the chest level. If you don't want yours to be too deep, you can bring it up by 1 inch or 1.5 inches, and if you want it deeper, you can take it downward by 1 inch from the chest level. It all depends on you. Then the next step is to connect from this point downward to the chest level. So I can either connect using my straight ruler or make it a bit curvy. And if I don't want my v-neck to be on a straight line like so, I will just make use of my punch curve ruler to construct the v-neck line. So it will just be a bit curvy. So this is the curvy part and this is the straight line. Moving forward, guys, I have the upper part constructed properly, as you can see. So let's move to the construction of our princess dart. In drafting the princess dart, I will need the bust pan measurements just the way I did on the back panel, which is 3.75. I will insert the measurements on the waist level. Then from that point, I will measure out my dart intake, and because this is a princess dart, I will make the waist dart 2 inches, and I'll mark out the midpoint. And I'll come to the bust level and insert the same bust pan measurement, that is 3.75. Then I'll connect this point to the mid dart. Then from this point, I will come down by 1 inch. Okay, on the empire level, I will be making my dart 2.5 inches, purposely because I want the bust area to come out properly. So I will make this 1/2 inch more than the waist dart. So on both sides, I will have 1.25. 1.25 here, 1.25 here. So that is 2.5 inches in total. Then from the waist to the empire level, I will connect with a straight ruler. Then from the empire level to the bust point, I will be making use of my armhole curve. Okay guys, I have my dart plotted properly, as you can see. The next step is to extend my dart downward to the hip level. On the waist level, I will confirm the measurement I have from the center front to the mid dart, and I will insert the exact measurement on the hip level. Then I will connect this downward with my straight ruler. Okay, from the hip level, I will measure 2 inches upward, and I'll connect both sides of my dart to the 2 inches point using my straight ruler. Okay guys, this is settled. The next step is to construct the side seam. In constructing the side seam, I will be inserting my horizontal measurements. These are the measurements taken in circumference, just the way I did on the back panel. I will insert the empire level circumference, and I will also add my dart intake plus ease of 1/4 of an inch. On the waist level, 1/4 of the waist circumference measurement plus my dart intake and ease of 1/2 of an inch. On the hip level as well, I will insert 1/4 of the hip circumference measurement. No ease allowance and no dart allowance. Guys, I have my horizontal measurement inserted, as you can see, and I've constructed my side seam. You can see this is the chest level for the front panel, and this is the hip area. So the next step is to cut out my pattern. I will be cutting this out in order to proceed to the princess dart. Now it's time to construct the princess dart. In constructing the princess dart, I will be taking the measurement I have on the armhole. As you can see, I have my front pattern cut out. So I will take this measurement and mark out the midpoint. Now I have the mid armhole marked out, as you can see. So this is the middle of my armhole. So the next step is to plot a dart by the side, which is known as the side dart. So this measurement has to be taken from the chest level. I will measure 3 inches below the chest level, and the 3 inches falls exactly on the bust line I have on my pattern. So from that point, I will measure 1 inch downward, and I will mark out the midpoint. Then I will connect the midpoint to the apex, then also the two sides of my dart. Then I will also connect the mid armhole to the apex. So I have this connected to the apex, that is my mid armhole, and I have my side dart plotted to the apex as well. Now I will be cutting out the side dart. I will open up this line, and automatically the dart I have here will be moved to the mid armhole. So I'm not cutting this all through to the apex, but I will make it as close as possible. Then I will close the side dart. Now you can see what I have. So guys, now I have my dart closed permanently, as you can see, and I've opened it up on the mid armhole. Then I place my pattern on a fresh pattern paper. I make sure the center of my pattern align with the edges of my new pattern paper. Now what I will be doing is to transfer this pattern on the fresh pattern paper. I will transfer this dart. I will reconstruct the armhole. Then the broken point I have by the side where I cut out the darts. I will make sure I fix that part. Then I will transfer all my lines on the fresh pattern paper. Now I have my pattern separated from my fresh pattern paper, and I have my lines traced out clearly, as you can see. So here is my dart. This is the neckline together with the shoulder line, and I have my chest level, the bust level, the empire level, the waist level, and the top length. And this part is my side seam. And as you can see, I have a broken point here. So this is a part I plotted my side darts, which is here. So there is a broken point here that has to be fixed. But before fixing that part, I will have to fold my darts and reconstruct my armhole. I will reconstruct my armhole and add my seam allowance immediately before opening up my darts. Now I have the broken point on the armhole area fixed, and I've added my seam allowance, as you can see. Now I can proceed in fixing the broken point I have by the side. So I will just position my very firm curve like so. Then I will reconnect from the chest to the empire level. So now I will be opening up my dart area. So that is the part I have on the armhole. You can see what I have here. Then I will draw out the center of my dart. Okay, then I will come to the apex, which is the point where the dart stops. Then I will measure 1 inch upward, just the way I measured 1 inch below the bust level. So then I will measure 1 inch above this point, like so. Then I will use my armhole curve ruler and connect to the 1 inch point. So in order to have a smooth curve around that part. So guys, I have this done. Then the next step is to reconstruct the hemline, so which is the top length. I have to return the 1 inch dart intake I placed on the side to the hemline, so that the side will not be shorter than the center front. So in doing this, I will come to the top length by the side and measure 1 inch downward. Then I will connect the 1 inch point to the top length point. Then I will extend this downward. So guys, now I have all the broken points I have on my pattern fixed properly, as you can see. And now we are done with the drafting of our built up neckline top with a princess dart. What I have left is to add my seam allowances all around the pattern, apart from the armhole area, which I've added already. So I will be adding my seam allowance on this part, which is half of an inch, on the neckline half of an inch. By the side I will add 1 inch, and on the top length I will add half of an inch, because this is going to be with lining. And the remaining seam allowances will be added on fabric after cutting out my darts. So guys, I have the remaining seam allowances added all around my pattern, and I've cut it out as a single piece, as you can see. Now I will proceed in cutting out my darts. Then I will start with the darts I have on the armhole. Now I have my darts cut out, and I have the front pieces in 2 places, as you can see. So this is the side, and this is the center, and this is the back panel. So for the back panel as well, I will be cutting out the darts and also have it in 2 places. So that will be 2 pieces for the front and 2 pieces for the back. So thank you guys for watching this video to the end. Make sure you try yours and share your experience with me at the comment section. And in case you have any question as regards this tutorial, kindly drop them at the comment section as well. Thank you once again, and I will see you in my next video. Till then, always do remember, there is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs.